how do I actually evaluate if something is worth my time and I should pursue it, or if it's just another shiny object that I should rather ignore and forget about? And in this video, I'm gonna share my process that you can just copy in order to actually see if you should do something and it's worthy of your time or rather not. And the first step is actually to start with where you are right now. So what's your current situation and what is your desired situation? Okay, so in my case, I'm building this YouTube channel right now, okay? And I have around like 25 subs. I have, I'd say like 5 to 10 views per video. I make content for creatives, so multi-potentialites, INFPs, stuff like this, where I talk about like mindset and values and all these different things around mindset. Mindset is even such a watered down phrase, but values, goals, and stuff like this. Okay, and usually it's like screen recording, and you want to be like very specific on where you are right now and what your current situation is. Once you have this, you're gonna define what your desired situation is. And in my case, I'm not gonna go too deep into this because I'm not gonna share every single detail of my goals. But let's say I just want to build YouTube channel, and let's just take some arbitrary number. Like, this is not the goal, but let's just say, for example, 10K. Okay, I want to get to like 10K subs. Just take a number. Then as well, I want to build for creatives. So multi-potentialites, INFPs, other creative people, artists, stuff like this. I want to make the channel for them and have them as my audience and have them watch the video and get value from this stuff and learn from it, and then build community around it of creatives. Okay, this is somewhat just an example of a desired situation. That is, there's some things that are relevant for me, and now we have this. We know where I am right now and where I want to go. So a friend came to me earlier and he was like, hey, Felix, why aren't you doing travel videos? Like travel vlogs, videos, like me traveling around, having crazy adventures, like, I don't know, walking down the Chinese wall or climbing Mount Everest, things like this, or with like other people. There's some other channels doing cool stuff. Something like this, okay? Traveling around, doing cool things, like showing other people, talking with the locals and stuff like this. Now, is this idea actually worth my time, and is this something I should be pursuing? Now, the first step I do is always to look at my current situation and my desired situation. So what am I actually trying to achieve? And is this thing, making travel videos, will this allow me to actually go from my current to my desired situation? And will it actually allow me to get there faster, more effective, and in general, will it allow me to get there? Because if I start doing this and it will suddenly get me somewhere else over here where I don't really want to end up on, then I should not be doing this, and it's an easy no, okay? So, but in general, this is something that it could work. For example, it would certainly allow me to build a YouTube channel, that's for sure. Then the creative part, again, this would only work if I make videos that are relevant for creatives. So if I travel to places where creatives like to go to, if I do stuff there that creatives like to consume, and I have actually creatives watching my content, then it will get me there. Otherwise, if I just do like a general travel thing where I review like cruises and I don't know, other stuff, and I don't have creatives watching me, but other people, then I missed my goal, and then it's not worth doing. So it's also, there are a lot of nuances in there, and it's not a black and white thing, because I can adjust the goal and I can change the thing around, okay? Because travel vlogs, it means what I want it to mean, okay? Then also, it can allow me to build a community for creatives, But again, only if I make stuff that is relevant for creators, and maybe if I go to places where creatives hang out in general, and I go there with friends, and I go to these places anyway, and I meet people there, then it will get me there. Otherwise, again, if I do like a basic holiday in all-inclusive holiday somewhere in a cool resort where I usually wouldn't go to, and I don't know any people that would actually go there besides people that I'm not friends with, then I missed the goal again. So in this case, we'll just make some notes here. If it were like traveling to places creators like, and doing it with creatives for example, if I travel to New York and I do something experiments, okay, I don't know. Yeah, but you don't come to this channel for amazing grammar. For example, if I go to New York and I do something there with creative, or I challenge myself to talk to like the coolest graphic designers and fashion designers and artists that I can meet there and see how long it takes me to meet these people there, then this would actually be a cool video that might other creatives feel interested in, because maybe they want to meet other cool graphic designers, artists, fashion designers, stuff like this as well. This would be something, okay? So in this case, so far, it doesn't seem too bad. The next one is, before you do anything, is to actually see if this aligns with your values, okay? And you have to figure out your values for yourself, but having these actually makes those things meaningful, because they mean something to you, because they align with your values. And second of all, they make it unique, and it's something for you that you do, and not because you just copy someone else. In my case, being different and going my own path, then being the best, and belonging, okay? Those are 3 of my top values. Again, will this align with my values? Being different, again, if I make travel videos that are specifically suited for creatives, and I go to creatives, I do like creative experiments that interest creative and stuff like this, then yes. If I do, again, the same stuff you've seen 100 times on YouTube, where someone just travels to Sri Lanka and shows me the top 10 places or the top 10 stuff for digital nomads, then it's not different, it's just a copycat thing, and you've seen it before. Can I be the best? Yes. Again, if I dominate that niche of like travel videos for creatives and stuff like this, I can be the best. And belonging as well, if I do it with others together and stuff like this. So it also aligns with my values, which is very good. The next thing is to actually see, if I were to try this, like what are the consequences? What are the second and the third order consequences on me trying this thing? And they're unique to whatever you're trying to do and what this thing is. But if I were to just try this and I give it a go, like what would be the second or the third order consequence of this thing? So the first one is obviously I go out, I shoot the video and I upload it, and I may get views or I don't get views. But then again, there are like 2 possible outcomes here. Like it might distract me from what I was doing before, and it doesn't help that, and I get sidetracked into other things. Then the third order consequence of that would obviously be that I miss the goal and I walk into a different direction that I don't want to be in. Another second order consequence, if I do it right and really intentional, could be that I do something and I get somewhat feedback from it, but I realize that this actually allows me to fulfill my values even more, because I get to travel as well. I get to be different. I get to be make something completely new. And it will allow me to align even more with my values and my goals. Then the third order consequence would be that I probably feel even more fulfilled and more psyched up of doing this stuff. Okay. So 2 possible outcomes, and it really depends on my input and how I do these things. So what I do now is, it seems like a good idea so far, something for me to try. But we need to brainstorm now what will be like the first steps in order to actually give this a go, because I don't want to go all in and do like the thing I just said, that it distracts me. So I want to be intentional about it. I want to do it the right way so it can actually allow me to fulfill me even more and align with my values even more. So in this case, I would just brainstorm some steps that I can take, like really small steps, in order to give this a try. So for example, I could make a video if I go to Mallorca the next time, where I travel to like 3-4 times a year. And I can make a video that I could showcase like the coolest places that I personally like to go to in order to be alone and be with nature and like really connect with nature, my surroundings, be alone, away from the tourist stuff. And I show like my 3 to 5 top places for this. Maybe it would be interesting for some other multi-potentialites, INFPs, creative people that also like to be in nature and have quiet time and connect with themselves away from the crowds. And I show these places. And this would be something easy to do. Mallorca, quiet places. Okay. What I also could do is, I live in Munich right now, so I could maybe go to some place in the surrounding areas, or maybe even in the city, that I can showcase. Or I go on some adventure, some cool adventure, I hike up some mountain, or I go to a farm, or something that is unique. Or I could showcase like my favorite cafes here. Okay. And again, in this case, I would suggest you use AI as well to just brainstorm more ideas. Not too many, but some relevant ideas. So you have some cool small steps that you can actually take and make them specific. Okay, so Mallorca, quiet places. What do I actually need to do in order to make this done and get this done? Well, I need to find like 3-4 places and make a video where I talk and share maybe like 3 or 5 places, quiet places, cool nature surroundings, quiet, where you can ground yourself and have some thoughts. Okay, this one as well, this one as well. And then what I do is I look at the inputs and the output ratio. So how much time, energy, and resources do I have to put in there in order to make this happen? And what will be the possible outcome if I do this thing? And I usually rate it from like 1 to 10, meaning 1 is like 0 input, like super easy, just pushing a button pretty much. And 10 is like incredible, hardcore, super hard input. And outcome, same thing. 10 is like extremely life-changing outcome. 1 is like, it's not even worth it. It's like no difference, okay? So in this one, maybe the Mallorca quiet places would be like an input. It's like a 2, again, because I keep going there anyway, multiple times per year. Output, again, if I show like quiet places that connect with creators, where creators would go to, it will probably be like a 8. For example, if I go to like New York Fashion Week or something like this, I go to New York and I connect with like the best graphic designers. This would certainly be, just as an example, like the input of this would probably be an 8, because I have to buy the tickets, the flights, the hotels and stuff like this. And the output might be a 6. Okay. So this obviously is not something worthy of trying, and I should not even be doing this. But I can do this. This is very easy to try. It's low risk. There's not much to lose. And if I just pick this, then the last thing to just consider is like, what's the worst thing that can happen if I just try this? This one small thing, okay? In order to see what will happen. Well, again, it could just flop and I waste my time. I could also get a little bit distracted with my other content if I focus on this a lot. Maybe I get sidetracked with my channel and I start dabbling into like completely different and random ideas that don't really have anything to do with this. And once I have these all written down, I just think like, okay, how can I prevent this? Go through all of them. And then how could I potentially fix it if it happened? Okay. And once I have this, then it's pretty much done and I can make a really good decision if I should try it. And I'm not going all in. I'm just trying it very small as a tiny experiment to see if this actually is there, and I will make it my own because I will put it even more on my values. Like, how can I make this more aligned with my values? Being different, the best, belonging. Again, if I go to like places that are absolutely not touristy, I make sure that I watch all the videos on Mallorca before, and I really focus on being the best one for my creative audience. And if I do it with cool people together, or I go there and I meet people there and I do it for my people where we can then talk about it and get good feedback from it, okay.